which makes sense because certainly there's going to be parallels when you talk about training individual soldiers, but when you start talking about training teams and training units, this is where things really start to come to light from a leadership perspective. So, importance of unit training. The Army's investment in the soldier pays off only when the unit is combat ready. Proper training develops combat ready units by welding skilled individuals into teams and combining teams into effective platoons, companies, and combined arms forces. It is my purpose in this chapter to highlight the application of principles and techniques that will contribute to improving a unit's combat readiness in less time at less cost, thus enabling the Army to realize full measure from its investment in the soldier and his unit. So there you go. This is about training that team, getting them to work together. Theme of unit combat readiness. It has often been said that battles are fought by squads and platoons and won by teamwork of small units supported by fire. Combat power is inflicted on the enemy by fire and movement. There you go. Cover and move. Welcome. It's been three paragraphs. We're talking about cover and move. This is why I start getting fired up. The purpose of movement is to get the fire in the most advantageous position to destroy the enemy. That's a good little thing to think about. That's why we cover and move. We cover and move to close with and destroy the enemy, to get in an advantageous position to destroy the enemy. That's why we cover and move. One must remember, however, that gasoline, ammunition, and other vital supplies are needed to sustain tactical operations. Accordingly, emphasis on small unit training should habitually stress teamwork to the point that tactical execution is accomplished with the same precision as dismounted drill, that delivery of effective fire is as automatic as gun drill, and that supply to the tactical unit is as responsive in battle as it is in garrison. These battlefield reflections vividly point out the basic theme of small unit combat readiness. No small unit training should be undertaken in a vacuum. Why is he pointing this out? He's pointing this out because in the military, it's very easy to silo yourself. It's very easy to say, I want my platoon to be good, so I'm going to go train my platoon. Or I want my company to be good, so I'm going to train my company. Or I want my battalion to be good, so I'm just going to go train my battalion over here in a vacuum. And if you're doing that, you're wrong. In any organization, if you're a salesperson and you're not training alongside the operations people to make sure that you know how to communicate to them what you want and they know how to communicate to you what they can deliver. What about the IT group? Do they understand how to handle the threshold of emails that you're going to be getting when you offer this new product? There's all these things that you need to work together.
Sometimes is it because of like internal competition as well? Like,
wait, that's why we wouldn't train together?
Yeah.
Maybe, or maybe, but I think it's just like the straight up silos. You know what I'm saying? Just like the straight up like, hey, this is my platoon. I'm going to take care of my platoon. This is my division. I'm going to take care of my division. This is my department. I'm going to take care of my department.
So like you're not thinking about necessarily the other guys, or you're just like, leave me alone.
I don't think it. I think it could be either a real like negative attitude, but it could also be just a positive attitude that's like, hey, I'm going to train my platoon.
Right. That's what you're focused on.
Yeah. I'm going to train my platoon. I'm a platoon commander. I'm going to train my platoon. We're going to be ready.
Yeah.
Here's the problem. You can be ready, but if you can't call for fire correctly, it doesn't matter. If you've never coordinated with a QRF before, it doesn't matter. When that QRF is needed, you don't know what you're doing. And it happens in business too. Hey, we're like I said, we're the sales team. We don't care. I don't need to train the customer satisfaction group. I don't need to train with them. That's not my deal, right? I don't care what happens once I sell the product, I don't care what happens. Oh, really? Mm-hmm. You should care what happens, because if the client calls customer satisfaction and looks for a solution to a problem that they've got as they're implementing the thing that you just sold them and the solution isn't there, guess what? You're not getting good reviews and you're not going to sell any more product to that company.
Mm-mm. Is the name customer satisfaction department? Is that it?
Yeah.
Is it called that?
Yeah, or sometimes they call it client implementation. There's many organizations that are set up in such a way that there's someone that sells the product and then there's someone that helps them implement the product.
And that's customer satisfaction.
Could be customer satisfaction, client satisfaction. What are some other names for it? Dave, can you think of any?
Customer service, tech support.
Yeah, stuff like that. Tech support, that's a good one. Tech support, you might think of like that's a broad-based, like, hey, I've had this computer for 2 years and now it's not working. I'm talking about companies where you buy a new system of software for your organization.
Like a solar panel.
I guess
at home you buy a solar panel for your roof.
Well, let's say you did that. Maybe you buy solar panels for your roof, right? And then great, you're the salesman. You sell them to me. Guess what? You're done when you're done selling me my solar panels. You're on trying to sell the next pair. So when I call, because the installation I'm having a hard time with, I call customer satisfaction. It's Dave. Dave picks up the phone. Hey, I just ordered this thing, and now he says, well, how many, and I say, look, we're having trouble installing this. It doesn't fit on my roof right. And you say, okay, well, how many panels did you get? And what size are they? And all of a sudden he realizes that he needs to give you feedback that, listen, if the roof is this angle, it fits a different way. And so now you can sell the product better, and that will keep people more satisfied. You can also do a follow-up call with me and say, hey, sir, I'm really sorry. When I measured your roof, I thought it was this angle. And so I sold you this thing. Here's what we're going to do. We're actually going to come out and pick up 3 of the panels that you're not going to need anymore. And I'm going to give you a 10% rebate. And we're also sending an installer out there to give you a hand. And boom, right? Now I'm taken care of. We're all happy. Now guess what I'm doing? When somebody asks me, oh, you got solar panels. What company? And I say, oh, Echo's Solar Panels. Is it a good company? Yeah, it was a little rough, but they got everything taken care of. You should definitely call them. You see where I'm going with this?
Yeah, fully. And that's weird.
Dang, you just took me down the rabbit hole of solar installation.
That was good. Maybe not the best example, but you did good with it.
I'm over here to run with it.
Yeah.
I'm over here to make it happen. What do you got?
But yeah, because you don't really think about that when you're at work, where you kind of want to be the best worker in company, sure, but the customer experience is kind of the whole deal, You know how when you leave your review, you're like, great product, bad customer service, and that can be like, well, that sucks because I need some customer service kind of thing. So it's kind of a downer, Yeah,
because we're not thinking everything's going to work perfect every single time, right?
Well, not necessarily. You see what I'm saying? But I'm saying you have these elements of a product or service that are all to the customer. It's like, it's all the same thing. I'm not going to go to this person just for one thing. I'm going to go, as far as one quality of their product, they'll get turned off by other departments. So if you work there you're just focused on yours, Brad, that affects you.
That's what General Clark is saying. You have to interact with other people inside your organization. And if you're not doing that, you're wrong.
You're wrong.
Fast forward a little bit. Training philosophy. The basic philosophy of successful training is that of obtaining superior results with average personnel. God, I love that. Well, the reason we're training is to take average people and make them exceptional. Superior results. A unit, to be truly outstanding, should be excellent in all undertakings and activities. Commanders must know and understand that the capabilities and limitations of personnel and set high and exacting standards of capabilities of the high ability of a unit's personnel. This tends to give the low ability group a hopeless feeling because of having to compete against a standard which they cannot attain. A unit satisfactory in all things is better than one outstanding in some, excellent in others, and unsatisfactory in a few. That's a good thing to think about. It's better to be good at everything than outstanding at this one thing, okay at some other things, and unsat in some final things. Next section. Fast forward a little bit. Emphasize fundamentals. The basic difference between a well-trained unit and one that is not well-trained is found in the attention paid to the fundamentals of marksmanship, chemical, biological, and radiological warfare, communications, maintenance, administration, and all other arts and skills that contribute to making the unit combat ready in the shortest possible time. A well-trained soldier is the only foundation upon which effective combat-ready units can be built. When the soldier fails to demonstrate proficiency in individual skills, the Army's investment is wasted and the combat readiness of the unit is diminished. Each commander should approach his problems of combat readiness with a sense of wartime urgency. There is no magic formula, no sweatless solution to achieving a high state of combat readiness in a unit. Application of the fundamentals enumerated below, however, will help. So that, by the way, sweatless solution, you've heard that before, right, Echo
Love
Charles?
it. Yeah,
that's Hack.
Yeah.
Well, Hack took that actual phrase.
And
I had tried to find it in About Face, and of course, About Face is 836 pages. And I was like, oh, I know it's in here somewhere. And I've done it on the podcast. I've talked about the sweatless solution. There is no sweatless solution. We've covered that on the podcast. You may have wondered where he got. I always thought he made it up, right? Of course, we thought he made it up. If you ever heard me say it, maybe you thought I made it up. I didn't make it up. Neither did Hack. There you go. I believe the source is General Clark.
Solution. That's like that stuck with me for a long time. Still is with me, really, because sweat. And part of it is yes, because I had to admit to myself, bro, that's me a lot of the time. I'm looking for that sweatless solution. Let's face it, man. If you can go and get like, you know, the kind where, okay. The other day,
Echo Charles going deep. Stand by. Get some.
So I'm sitting on the couch, right, and
big shocker.
So the remote control, I have the kind where, you know, like the remote control for the cable and then for the volume, they're two different remote controls, right? So I got the one for the cable, but I was like, fuck, the volume one is the volume one is somewhere else. So I'm like, you know, the kind you're looking around, it has to be close to you, right? Because it's not like it's, you know, in the next room or something like that. It's not going to go far, but it's around here somewhere, right?
This is what we train for.
We're talking about the solution here. So you know, you kind of look around your little vicinity or whatever. I'm not getting up, though. Bro, I'm already sitting down. Mm-hmm. That might cause me to sweat a little bit, but whatever. So I'm looking around, and I turn around, and we have this ledge, like, behind the couch there. You know that ledge there? Mm-hmm. And I look, and it's behind me. But it's it's in this weird spot where I can't, like, I got to stand up. If I would have stood up when I first saw it, bro, I would have had the remote control enjoying some television at this point. But I'm like trying to contort my body, like all weird. It was weird. It was almost like I was putting more effort into my sweatless solution than actual energy would have been expended if I went for the sweat solution, the real one, you know? Just stand up for a second. You see what I'm saying?
Bro.
But I'm saying, okay. So the point is, no. The point,
you are lazier than I thought.
The point is,
bro, I'm talking about Hackworth. Like, I'm talking about General Clark. He served in World War I, World War II, Korea. Hackworth was a most decorated soldier. You couldn't get your remote?
I could. What I'm saying is, sometimes the people, sometimes we put so much effort into looking for a sweatless solution. Okay. See what I'm saying? Like, as a philosophy, you know, and how General Clark is saying, subsequently Hackworth, subsequently Jocko, what they're saying, stop looking for the sweatless solution. Stop, like, straight up. Bro, just do the work. Stand up. Get the remote control. That's the case may be, or whatever.
Oh, this may be the.
You see what I'm saying?
This may be the apex of the Echo Charles examples.
I'm just saying, there's a lot of those. You know, kind of like when you're vacuuming and you see the little thing, it does want to get sucked up by the vacuum.
Bend
and then
down,
pick
it up.
You just bend down, pick it up. You should, but man, I don't want to do that. So you'll like kick it to try to get it loose or whatever. I'm just saying these lessons are kind of everywhere when you think about it. You know what I'm saying?
All right, man. Check.
General Clark would agree, I think.
Yeah, no, he definitely would. When he wasn't like on the line.
Yes, of course.
Fighting the Nazis.
Yeah.
Or fighting the communists.
Yeah.
These guys didn't even have remote controls, bro. They have TVs. Or couches.
Bro, I'm over here just trying to understand.
All right. You know? Well, there you go.